I'd like to call the March 19th meeting of the Wheaton Park District Board of Commissioners to order. Mike, please take the roll.
Commissioner Vanderschaft.
Here.
Commissioner Schobel.
Here.
Commissioner Morrill. Here. Commissioner Mee.
Here.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Here.
President Kelly.
Here. Mike, presentations?
Do we have any presentations today, Margie? We do not.
No presentations.
Thank you.
I thought the shirts were part of a
I was
presentation.
just saying, look at all these black and white shirts.
Hope they're running large.
Okay. Community input. Is anybody signed up or is anybody here to do community input? Nope. All right. Consent agenda. I'll take a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
No. Roll.
No? Okay. Roll call vote, please. Mike?
Before I do that, we did have one correction. I think some of you may have seen it on email, via email this afternoon. We neglected to add Phil to an action, and we've done that, and that will be the corrected version that gets voted on. So, that being said, Commissioner Vanderschaft?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. Unfinished business, the buildings and grounds update and possible action on change orders. Buildings and grounds didn't meet till yesterday, and we didn't get the minutes from the meeting till this afternoon, so neither Phil nor I have had a chance to edit them yet. We're going to try to get those edits done tomorrow, and they'll be in your board packet. One important note, Bergen finished his all work was finished on the Hubble contract, and final payment was authorized, and I think it was processed this week or last week.
He has the check.
So he has the check. So the Hubble project is officially closed. The warranty period has started. He had some claims for some warranty work issues that they wound up dropping. So the final numbers that we had the last time were the final numbers on the Hubble project.
John, how long is that period?
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah, on the mechanical equipment. Some of the stuff, once we took use of the gyms and some of that equipment that was working properly, it would have started then. It was just the controls, I think, were the only thing we asked them to extend the warranty on because we're still playing around with the control system. But once we started the air handlers up and everything, the warranty had to start once we started using them. All right. A couple other things that came out of the meeting, the cooling tower showed up and has been installed and is piped. And I think they're completing some wiring, but, it should be ready to go, no problem. We were all concerned if we need air conditioning sometime at the community center.
It's going, not anytime soon.
And the other major project we had, the pump is on site, and is it completed or being installed in the pump house at Arrowhead?
It is almost completed. We're
So-
about to wrap up soon.
So we should be ready, another week or so. All this stuff showed up in the last 3 weeks, I think. So we should be ready to go for the start season with the irrigation system, too. And those were the only things that were really hanging out there. So you'll get a report on all the upcoming projects. It should be in your board or your end of the week packet. All right.
Thank you.
New business. Approval of a fixed price transaction confirmation with Constellation News Energy, Inc. for electric supply for the community center, Rice Pool, Park Services Center, Arrowhead, the Cosley Zoo, and the museum for a 1-year period from May of 2014 to May of 2015.
Move to approve. Second.
Any questions, comments, or discussion? We can do a voice vote. You should do a roll call on that, too. So, Mike, please take the roll.
Commissioner Vanderschaft?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business item 2, approval to fill a full-time vacancy, which is the project specialist 1.
So moved. Second.
Questions, comments? Terry?
For you, Mike, in the staff recommendation, there's references to 2 different positions that are identified as 2 positions. One is Operations 2, and that's the apparently promoted 2. And then down in the second paragraph, there's a reference to a Project Specialist 2. Are those one and the same? First paragraph, third line.
Yeah, what Larry was doing there was we were indicating the different types of positions we have in that second paragraph. The position at hand is is it Ops or Projects 1? Projects 1. Because we are promoting a Projects 1 to an Operations 2, and then opening that position to fill the vacancy left by Nick Kochevar, who's going to the West Chicago Park District to be their assistant park superintendent.
So was there a vacancy in that Ops 2 position?
You just indicated.
Yes.
Okay. I thought that our Ops, okay, so the Ops 2 is leaving, we're filling that.
Internally.
And the Project Specialist 2 is a different position?
It is a different position. It's just what Larry was doing is indicating which positions we have for the 5 employees in that division. So it's a Larry, let me make sure I got it right. And Operations 2 left us. We promoted a Projects 1 to the Operations 2, and we're filling the Projects 1.
I just didn't see the Ops 2 position mentioned in that second paragraph. So I wasn't sure if Ops 2 is the same position as Project Specialist 2.
It's the same level of position, but it is a different division of the Parks Department. Projects is our construction firm. Operations takes care of buildings and grounds.
Okay, thank you.
Kim, you had your hand up?
So they're listed here under alternatives, 2 bullet points. Can you explain your logic behind these a little bit more clearly about the fact that you're not recommending we go with part-time labor because they're already at reduced hours? So give me a little more detail around that.
Around the reduced hours?
Well, just around why you're not supporting part-time. You know, that seemed to be the one argument there.
We're just making you aware again with the shortcomings or the changes with the preparation for the new insurance care, that we're at a restricted level of hours during the course of the year. With that, we can only work so many people that 1,400 hours.
So that's assuming we're not hiring additional part-time. That would be if we relied on current part-time workers that we have right now.
I have no part-time, except for the permanent part-time. I have no seasonal or long-term part-time people right now. Year-round, we have 3 at Cosley that work under 28 hours, and I believe there's 3 at the community center that work under 28 hours.
Okay, so what is it about hiring additional part-time, because they would not be at that,
Projects 1 is the construction crew, and they need to have some skill.
okay?
They have to be invested. Getting those part-time people with that skill isn't as easy.
Have we tried that before?
We have. We do
And?
that all year with our seasonals, where they become just general laborers. This Project 1 needs to have some skills.
Okay.
You're saying basically that Project 1, in order for them to be invested in, they have to be full-time and want to be here.
Yes.
All right. Got it.
Anybody else? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Vanderschaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes?
Commissioner Lukihans?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business, item number 3, bid results and recommendations for Rams football and athletic equipment.
Move to approve the bids as recommended by staff.
Second.
Anybody have any questions? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Lukihans?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderschaff?
Yes.
Okay, new business, item number 4, approval of a professional service agreement with Government Navigators Group.
Second?
Questions, comments? Kim?
On the front page here on the memo, it says it's with the exception of the term change and one other minor change. This agreement contains the same terms and conditions. What is the other minor change?
My recollection is from discussing this with Nicole that it was related to an insurance. Actually, now I recall. In the past, we've had the addition of the term to the extent permitted by law related to issues related to negligence, and that was added in this area, I believe, if my memory serves correctly. If you would like me to verify that, I'd be happy to, but I believe it was an indemnification addition that our lawyers were adding to look out for us.
Okay, so it's an addition, not a removal or other modification?
My recollection, Kim, is that it was an addition related to indemnification to further our protection.
Anybody else?
I guess now I am concerned. I guess I never really read that part of it. I'm not really sure why the indemnifications are not mirrors of each other, and why.
My memory could be poor, and I might be thinking of a different agreement, Phil.
Well, but you are correct that we have the to extent permitted by law in our
Okay.
indemnification, and it's not in theirs, and I'm not quite sure. If anything, I would want it in theirs, not ours, if we're drafting it. It's really not much of an issue because the effect of indemnification in these agreements, I don't think I've ever seen it have to be used. So we'll just go on as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's not like they're creating something.
I think we need to tell Nicole in the memos that she needs to put in what
Yes.
the changes were so that we see exactly what was changed.
Will do.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Lutke-Hans?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderschaft?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business item 5, approval of amendments to a Wheaton Park District personnel policy, cell phone usage.
So moved.
Second.
Anybody have any questions, comments? Phil?
One question. Both this and the next policy are recommended by the committee?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
No, I think we need one. And I'm just going to say, I saw an employee, I happened to be sitting behind it on Gables, Roosevelt Road, and he was texting on his phone, laughing and not paying attention to what was going on. And I'm sitting there waiting behind him. Finally, I honked the horn, and he moved. But that stuff should not be happening in one of our units. And they got to realize that you're in the public eye. So,
This was one of our employees?
yep.
Noted.
All right. We can do voice vote on these policies. All in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Yes.
Anybody opposed? Okay. The second amendment to the next new business item is the second amendment to the Wheaton Park District policy regarding conduct in public parks and facilities as related to weapons and firearms.
Move to approve.
Second.
Anybody have any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
This one is just related to the conceal and carry. That's what we
Correct.
need to do.
Okay, item number 7, ordinance number 2014-02, authorizing the execution of a donation and reimbursement agreement between the Play for All Playground and Garden Foundation and the Wheaton Park District.
President Kelly, this
Yep.
was the item at Buildings and Grounds that Phil had agreed to review for us before we bring it back to the entire board. So it's a discussion item for today if necessary, and I don't think it is. And we'll see it in between now and the April meeting for action.
All right, so do we need a move to table?
Move to table.
Table.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Anybody discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
We'll take that up next month. Item number 8, ordinance number 2014-03, approving the disposal and sale of personal property owned by the Wheaton Park District. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Anybody have any questions? Kim?
The items we're going to sell, where does that go back into the budget? Does that go back to the Arrowhead portion of the budget, or how does that flow through?
I guess I would defer to the accountant in the room. I believe it would go back to the equipment area that it resided in.
Yes.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Ordinance needs a
Yep.
roll call.
You know what, I'm sorry, I didn't, the trade-ins, I guess I've never seen people actually put this in a surplus ordinance. When the trade-in.
It's a little bit different,
Yeah, I've never actually seen that.
nor have I.
I guess what I can add is it was an assumption made by me that because we were disposing of it, that we needed to do it, and if that's an error, certainly we can correct it in the future.
I don't think it's a big issue, I mean, but I think what you're really looking at is when we're buying the next grinder, for lack of a better, whenever we're trading it in, that should be part of what we're approving. We're approving the new grinder minus the cost of the old grinder on the trade-in.
Because we're not really disposing of it, we're using it as a trade.
We're using it as a, so really what we're doing is, when you buy the new one for $25,000 or whatever, you're getting a $3,000 credit, so your purchase is $22,000. That's how I've seen it done in the past and how we've done it. It also, I think, helps a little bit with some of the issues related to the limits of what you have to bid. So I just think it's something that it's a little cleaner the other way. And I think Terry's seen that in his municipality as well.
2 police departments, and I've handled those disposals. And trade-ins are trade-ins, and disposals are disposals.
I mean, we can do this, but I think because you're doing it later when you do it, and we're going to approve that purchase anyway, so I think that's the time to do it. I'm not suggesting it has to be removed, but just for future reference.
It can be if you wish, because they are listed separately, but thanks for the clearing it up.
So what's the board's preference? Do we want to remove just the items that are going to be traded in?
Well, I think
Then you got to go through and change a bunch
it's
of the
cleaner
other
to do that.
language too.
I don't know
Or we
that
just
I don't know that
approve
it's
it
necessary
like this,
for
and
now.
we'll change it going forward.
That would be what I was asking for. I don't know that it matters that much. It's just I think it's cleaner going forward. I don't think either one's a violation of the law.
go along.
When we,
But she credits it in the budget, right?
and so when we go out to bid for these, are we having to bid both pieces, the new and then the value of the old?
Yeah, what you do is you go out and you bid it and say, we're going to trade in, so what's the credit? So if we're trading in a grinder for a new grinder, the low bidder would be the person who gives you the best overall deal.
The net?
The net, absolutely.
But for this one, we're going to just continue with this, and we'll change next time. So any other questions or comments? And Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Vanderschaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mean?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lutke-Hans?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. New business item number 9, bid results and recommendations for the Graph Park synthetic turf. This is the bids for the carpet only, not the rest of the project.
I think this is what we tabled.
No, we tabled
Play for all.
the play for
Play for all.
Oh, this is, okay, I'm sorry. Is this the one, have I seen the
Yes, you
the
looked at
revised
you-
language? I have not seen the revised, I'm sorry. Move to approve for now, just so we can talk about it.
Second.
Okay, now I have a question. Have I seen I don't think I've seen the revised language.
I don't know if you have. I would say no. What we had indicated during the Buildings and Grounds meeting, if my memory serves, was that we have the ability to change it prior to having the contract signed if you feel there's added language that's necessary.
Yeah, let me kind of explain what happened here.
Yeah.
So everybody.
This was
is on
all
the same page.
yesterday.
So the grass synthetic turf installation bid, if you look to the language change in 14.4.1, if the owner terminates on or before May 23rd, 2014, owner shall not be liable to contractor for any damages, penalties, costs, or other charges resulting from said termination. I asked at the Building and Grounds meeting yesterday to see the rest of this section, and there were a couple concerns I have. One is that later on in the section, as drafted, we actually have a May 14th date, which is before our May 19th, I think it's our May 19th meeting or whatever it is, before that meeting, which obviously created an inconsistency. And secondly, I asked that having dealt with termination for convenience before, you often have a question as to, at least in the language I saw in the contract, as to whether work they've already performed, because normally you would pay for work already performed when you terminate for convenience. So I asked that staff ask Tressler to revise, I think it was 14.4.3.
You're correct.
I'm going off memory, so I could be wrong, to make it very clear that we have, if we terminate before May 24th, we're not liable for anything. And it's.
The cost of the Park District would be zero.
Even for the work already completed?
Correct.
No, Kim, we're bidding out the carpet, which is the AstroTurf or synthetic turf, field turf. So, but we haven't bid the rest of the project yet. If the rest of the project, we expect that we'll have bids in hand around May 20th or 19th, something like that. So if the rest of the project were to come in way over the estimate, we don't want to be buying a carpet and then have the board not go ahead with the rest of the project.
Subsurface.
So we set it up so that we could buy the carpet now, which will get us in the production schedule. The carpet won't be made for a while, but at least the order will be placed, and we'll be in the queue to get our material fabricated. After we get the rest of the costs for the project, which is the drainage and all the grading and the asphalt work, we'll know the total project. And if this board votes not to go ahead with it, we will cancel the carpet at no cost to the district. So you will get one chance to see the total cost of this project before we actually spend the money, and we can cancel the carpet without cost, because that's the way we sent out our RFP.
And are you still looking at the 1.25 for the budget for this?
Right. That was the amount that the board approved for the overall cost of the project. And in that, I think we had $350,000 for the carpet, and the bids came in at like $315 or something like that. So we're a little under on the carpet portion, but this board will still have the opportunity to see the total project cost. We didn't want to have to buy the carpet if the whole project came in at $1.8 million or something that nobody knew about. So that's why we put the cancellation clause in the carpet.
Yeah, but there isn't a provision there for 14.4.3.
It's on the next page that you didn't get.
That we didn't get.
I saw yesterday at the Building and Grounds Committee meeting, I asked for it, and I had some concerns that it wasn't strong enough.
Okay.
So
So that's been revived.
I don't know that it's been revised yet. I haven't seen
What
it.
I would recommend we do tonight is that we accept the bid subject to the language being changed acceptable to the Buildings and Grounds Subcommittee or something like that, because the language that you're seeing now is what was put out for bid. So if we want to change the language, they could come back and say, no, we won't change it. And then we would reject the bid. But they've given us verbal assurances that the intention was that they won't charge us. So we just want to get it clarified with them.
I'm all right with that.
That's really it. We didn't want this board to become, a little $350,000 into this project, and now us later say, and the board say, oh, the rest of the project came in at another 1.5, and now we're stuck at a number that none of us would
So
agree
we just
to.
want to be able to get out at no cost should something unforeseen happen.
So,
Will you amend your motion, Phil?
yeah, I'll amend the motion to, subject to the Buildings and Grounds Committee giving approval of the modified language in the contract, if that's acceptable. Who seconded, Mike?
Who seconded?
Terry.
Will amend my second.
Okay. Any other discussion?
So next month, we'll have the full project? Or is that May?
May.
Okay.
May.
The timing comes in so that we get the bids shortly before the May meeting, I think, which is the 19th or 20th. and
Rob,
then
what's
we
the
have
actual
till
date we're going to
24th.
get the bids that we think? Okay.
How long have they been out?
We haven't put the bids out yet. We're still working on
We don't have final permit yet.
The plans are done, but we don't want to put them out till we make sure there's no permit comments that we'd have to then revise and send out addendas. So we have enough time to still get them in, because we should know we should have the permit by then. Okay. Anybody else? Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Vanderschaff,
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel,
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill,
Yes.
Commissioner Mee,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Lutke-Hans,
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes. Reports from staff. Mike, anything?
We have 2 annual reports that were delivered, I believe, Thursday of last week to allow some extra time. We have the authors of those reports with us this evening if there are any board questions.
Yeah, I just have one comment. The one thing I noticed in the Arrowhead report, and I know we talk about a lot of things at Arrowhead, but the outdoor wedding facility, I believe it only cost us about $25,000, didn't it? And I remember the board was kind of split on whether we should do it or not. And I found it interesting that brought in $25,000 worth of revenue in 1 year alone. So that outdoor wedding facility is doing really well. And, congratulations to whoever's been working on it. Anybody else have anything on the reports? Ray?
Just looking at the varied interest report, again, both the reports are excellent. I appreciated both of them. But it dawned on me that we really, as an agency, are really noted for our athletic programs and the success of our athletic programs, and the fact that we do work with the high schools with our sports. And I was just wondering, do we work with the high schools in regards to dance or theater or music to try and cultivate their programs at the high school level?
We currently do offer a few dance programs for ages 12 to 18. They typically haven't been very successful. Our teen service series is geared towards the preteen and the teenage age as well. Theater is up to age 18. We just don't have the draw because they usually go towards professional theater companies, dance companies.
I'm thinking more in line of the teachers being more actively involved with the public to help us cultivate programs in those areas of interest that they have at the high school level, and could they help us both in teaching, training, and encouraging kids to get involved, because eventually they're going to be at the high school level and they're going to be in music and chorus and dance and band and that kind of thing. We do a great job with the athletic programs. I think we all know that. And I think that this is maybe an area that we can pursue. So that was my
Yeah,
only,
I can talk to the instructors about that.
It's a great point, Ray. We'll certainly follow up.
They were both very good reports, and I'm not a golfer, but I did appreciate the golf report. Really enlightening.
Anybody else? Any reports, Terry?
Ray will be a golfer this year, though, I'm sure.
When are we opening the little golf?
Kristen, thanks. That,
Yes, when
as
is that
usual, the reports are helping me to understand what else we do. A couple of comments about the Arrowhead report. Very comprehensive. Thank you. That exec summary really was helpful. The historical data was good, and just some of the overviews about the weather and how it impacted us. That really helps. At least it helps me to see what we're doing and where our rounds are coming from and so on and so forth. A question for you, Andy. It'll be, I'm sure, something comes up at our Arrowhead subcommittee meeting, but do you foresee in the near future we're going to have to replace these carts? Bruce, maybe you can talk about that too.
Yeah, actually, Bruce and I have been talking about it. We feel that obviously we'll get through this year and possibly next year, but we're going to be looking. Bruce and I will be going down to the PGA show next January to start looking at the carts.
So we got a
Because we're
couple.
on year 6 or 7, 8
At least.
This
So
will be our
we're
7th year,
a couple years left. Good. Some maybe.
maybe.
Hey, Margie, I know we're going to get a financial overview of the casino night, but how do you think we did in general? Was it successful? I mean, I was there and it was well attended, but I know not as much as the year prior, right?
Attendance was down a little bit. Financial, we did bring in some money over what we spent, so we are in the green on that, or in the black on that. So we did well on it. To the degree that we have done in the past, we were a little bit down this year from prior year, just due to some of our sponsors funding greater in a different event that we offered earlier in the year.
I saw a lot of people from the community that we don't see at all of our events, so that's helpful. brings a little more attention to the museum.
Mark?
Coming back to the carts, I was going to bring this to the golf subcommittee. One of the things I'd like to see us look at, if we're going to replace the fleet, and we're looking to do that, something that I thought we should have done when we built the facility was look at electric. Number one, the gas prices are going through the roof. I think, number one, the experience for a golfer and I think to the environment to have electric opposed to gas is certainly beneficial. I think that's what we're all about, right? So I'd like to see what the cost would be to implement a change over to electric. Obviously, you're going to have to make changes to the facility to some degree, but what is the overall benefit over a 5 and 10 year period?
We can certainly do that research in the time we have before we're going to replace the fleet, Mark.
Yeah, I think, I'm with Mark. I think you have to look at electric, but don't the GPS units tend to work better with the electric over the gas also?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything on the reports? Jane?
I just want to, Sarah, do you have a dollar amount on the casino night?
I do not have a final dollar amount on it yet. We're still have a few expenses coming through.
So we can see that next month, maybe?
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
I would say, I'm pretty confident we'll be in the vicinity of $5,000 profit or a little bit of that. It'd be a
Correct.
probably very conservative figure, and I believe we cleared 8,000 last year.
Correct.
But Sarah's doing an excellent job not giving a number that is that's not completely accurate, so I'll go out on that limb.
Should have said 10,000, Sarah.
Thank you for the shirt.
Thank you.
Anybody have anything on the reports? Otherwise, I'm going to just go around with other board member comments. Kim, anything else?
Not on reports.
No, so now I'm opening it up.
Oh, okay. How did the taste or restaurant week kickoff go?
It was well attended. We probably saw about 100, 150 people at that event. We're waiting to get final figures in from that program. We did have some extra activities there as part of our evening and raised, I think it was $120 in extra funds specifically on our activity that we had at our station. So, but nice representation and support from all the different businesses that were at the In Good Taste event. So.
We've had a lot going on with the museum lately.
Yeah.
There has been a lot, so that's great. I attended the Wheaton Chamber of Commerce event with Ray and Terry, and congratulations to that was wonderful. Mike, I'm still waiting on my follow-up from you. So that was great. Everyone, congratulations. Your next.
Mark, anything?
No, move on.
Ray, anything?
I just want to thank the park staff and the golf course staff for all the work they did this past winter. It's been one of our worst winters that we've had in decades, and thank you very much for keeping the parking lots and sidewalks cleared. And also, congratulations on that mural that is at the community center. I suspect that it's Northside Park. I'm not quite sure. It's an exaggeration of it, but it's beautiful. And so let the gentleman who Steve Johnson, is there? Lehman, okay. Let Steve
For
know.
the second time.
Let him know I thought it looks good. Looks like it's got a scratch in it, but
No, that round circle
yeah.
is the crest for our logo, yeah. Not the tree with the roots.
Okay. It's very nice. Thank you very much.
Terry, anything else?
Nope.
Jane?
Well, I was at the kickoff for Restaurant Weekend. I thought it was a very nice event, and I heard extraordinarily great comments from all of the businesses that were represented. And so I think they appreciated the Park District's involvement with the Chamber or with the Downtown Wheaton Association, and it was a great, another nice way to bring people to Downtown Wheaton on a slow night to get them back home. So.
No, nothing? The only thing I had is my wife and I joined some of the staff at the Wesdra Black and Red Bash this year. And I think attendance had to be, I was counting tables, had to be over 700 people there. And I'll be curious to see, they had quite a big silent auction. And I'm sure they made a lot of money, so it'll be interesting to see. But what a phenomenal organization. And what a well-run event. It was really something.
It used to be even better.
Despite their executive
And their new director was just such a good MC. I don't have anything else. Mike? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.